It brings some offensive presence. It has a really good move pool. As long as you can get past the bullet punch and the mash punch, then this thing won't do that much. If you can outspeed it, then that's another thing. But like I said, Hitmonchan, I'm pretty. Hitmonchan is not a Pokemon that I see Alex Louis using as much. Like, I see this team as a hyper offensive player. And yeah, Hitmonchan can be used as a choice scarf. Hitmonchan, that's interesting. That's pretty interesting. But I don't see this mon really fitting Alex Louis' style. And the reason I'm saying this, and I'm so picky about how Alex Louis plays and how he likes to play, is that that's when he's at his best. The reason he won Season 1 was or the reason why he's so successful is because he has a team that fits his playstyle. I don't see this team fitting his playstyle. I don't see this team really complementing how he likes to play, how he can be forced to play. And that's the only thing as it is. Like, if it was on another person's team, or if it was on someone else and they had a different playstyle, then I can sort of justify it. But I don't think so far that this team really complements his playstyle. Frogadier is his first NU pick, and Frogadier is a protein user. It is frail, it doesn't hit that hard, and this thing, I'm intrigued. I don't know if it's gonna do what he wants it to do. It's a fast mon, but it doesn't. I think it gets U-turn. It's one of the better NU. Well, it's an alright NU Pokemon. And alright, so I guess I'm gonna be being joined by Warriors coach of the Flint Tropiuses just in a bit. And we'll see how that works out. So I'll get him over, and we'll see how that works out. So let's see how this works. Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, let's see if people can hear you in the chat. All right, just say a couple words.
Yeah, saying words, talking out loud.
All right, words. Let us know in the chat if you can hear Warriors up in there. So let's see if they can see anything. Yep, I think they can hear you. I didn't goof up.
Right.
I didn't goof up this one.
That's good. That's always a positive.
That's always a positive. That's a positive. Anywho, we're in the Bavarian Beedrills. Alex Louis. We're up to Frogadier.
Frogadier, yeah. That was something I was looking at drafting last season, actually. I really like.
Loud and clear. All right, sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, I really like Protean's such a good ability, I reckon. I think the only tough thing about it is he needs to be able to outspeed, because it's not living any hits.
And that's the argument that I feel like that's pretty prominent on this one, is that Frogadier is not the bulkiest mon. Even with an Eviolite, it won't live a lot of hits. It's not one of the fastest NU Pokemon with its base speed of 97, and its special attack is it's nothing to be like blown away by just because it's 83 special attack. Sure, it gets podium, but I don't think it's going to be breaking down any walls anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't see it as something that matches his hyper offensive playstyle, really.
Yeah, the only thing that I see on it is that, does it get U-turn though? Yeah, it does.
Frogadier does, so I think I'd assume it would.
So it does get U-turn, but that's the only thing it has really going for it. I don't see it fitting his hyper-offensive playstyle. It's way too frail to really be viable. The only thing that it can really build up is momentum, and that being U-turning action.
Yeah, I can see it bringing like choice scarf, but that doesn't really hit hard enough to do much damage. And then you could run like Life Orb, but then you risk getting outsped. So he's gonna have to play it well. but it has the potential with the huge move pool to do all right. So if
Yeah,
anyone can make it work, it'll be Alex.
yeah, and Alex Louis does have to change his play style entirely with this team. It's going to be interesting to see how he readjusts that. But his very next pick is, in his very last NU pick, which is round 11, that is the Xatu, another magic bouncer.
Yeah, I thought this was a really confusing pick. At the time when he made it, I was like, oh yeah, that's a nice magic bouncer, and then I completely forgot that he already had one. So I'm a little confused as to the need for two, but
Yeah. The
he's got to have something up his sleeve.
Well, the only thing that I can really see is that Xatu is, once again, it's another U-turner, but that means Sableye can be turned into just a regular Sableye, and he can bring that instead of Mega Sableye. Plus, yeah, it can have Wish, but I don't know if you want Xatu staying in and taking a hit from anything with Wish on the rebound.
Yeah, I think a lot of his later picks, in particular, are fairly frail.
Yeah.
So he's and they don't have a ton of speed either. Like Electros is fairly weak. Hitmonchan doesn't want to take too many hits. Frogadier and Xatu are both frail as well. So he's relying a lot on his bulk core, and I'm really interested to see how he's going to try and work it.
Yeah,
But
this is going to be an interesting season for the Bavarian Beedrills. I don't know if they can transition that well into this playing style, but like you said, if anyone can do it, it is Alex Louis.
yeah, like he's he's clearly come out with a plan. Like he's chosen Mega Sableye for a reason. So he's obviously wanting, obviously got some ideas. So it's just really everyone has to wait and find out now, and that's sort of scary.
Yeah. Well, the thing that really brings a decent amount of threats and that sort of fits his playstyle a lot more is his final pick, which is in the wild card pick, which is the Zoroark.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really interesting, especially with some of the bulky Pokemon he's got. Just you'll always be guessing whether or not it's actually like a Chansey or a Mega Sableye, or if it's just a Zoroark. And he's going to be able to pick up a few surprise KOs, I reckon. But I reckon this one he'll it suits his like traditional play style a lot more, and I think that it was a really good pick because of that.
Yeah. Well, especially with the new release Zoroark, with having access to Sludge Bomb too, that'll be nice. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah, like you said, he can pick up some surprising KOs just because, if things are way too good to be real, that might be the fact in this case. If he sends out Chansey and you want to stay in with your, let's say, your Kyurem, and suddenly you find yourself Kyurem is going down all of a sudden, and Chansey is not Chansey anymore. Another thing with Zoroark is that it can learn Calm Mind, can set up substitutes. It has a really decent move pool. It has Sucker Punch. It has access to both Nasty Plot and Sword Sense, I believe.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Sounds right.
So it is a mixed attacker. It's really unpredictable. It's pretty much what you would want, and yeah, it has access to both of that. So that's a really, really good pick. And this is probably my favorite pick in his whole draft, just because I think this thing fits his playstyle a lot more. His second half of the draft, I'm a bit iffy on. I'm really interested to see how he plays around that. But I like his first draft. It is bulky. It complements each other so well. And
Yeah,
oh yeah, yeah,
I was gonna say I definitely reckon he is relying on the bulky. Is really bulky core. I like what someone said before in the chat. I think it was. I'll scroll up and have a look. Yeah, Gmars. Um, when he said picked Gastrodon over Quagsire. I reckon that's something that he has to watch out for this season is people trying to set up because while Sableye, Ferrothorn, and Chansey are all really bulky, they don't want to take. They are all at risk of someone trying to set up and sweep, and I think that's something that he's going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, I. This is going to be a really, really interesting season for Alex Louis. I cannot stress that enough, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season.
It's going to be a fun season. So we'll move on to the next team. What's your favorite pick? A Q&A thing later in the stream. Yeah, we can do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're still around, I'm still down for that.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, cool. I think I got my mic. All right, sweet. Anywho, what's your favorite pick in this team, and what's your least favorite?
My favorite pick would probably be I really like Zygarde. That was something I was wanting to get, but I ended up getting Garchomp instead, which is arguably better. So, yeah, Zygarde or Crobat, I think. They're two things that he'll be able to use really well and are really solid. And I'm more of an offensive player, so I like the offense as well. So.
Yeah, it brings some good offense. 2 solid picks.
Yeah. Least favorite pick, probably the Xatu. I just don't really see the point in it, besides the fact that he'd want to run pranks to Sableye.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason maybe why he would bring that, but other than that, Xatu doesn't really bring much to the table.
Yeah. How about, what's your favorite pick and least favorite pick?
I'm going to have to go with the wild card pick, that being the Zoroark. That's my favorite pick just because it's so late in the draft and it complements his team so well because he has things like Mega Sableye, Ferrothorn, Chansey. He has a decent amount of 4x weaknesses, so a lot of people will try to, they're going to smack their lips and they're going to be like, wow, that's a really good opportunity to take advantage. I'm just going to click on that, and then it can really change the momentum.
Yeah, definitely.
My least favorite pick would have to be the Xatu. I'm with you on that just because it doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah, he's already got a really good magic bouncer in Mega Sableye.
Yeah.
And there's not really a lot else that Xatu can do.
And it being weak to like Shadow Sneak, Sucker Punch, Knockoff, U-Turn. Well, U-Turn's neutral, so I just don't see it. I don't see it being used as much.
Yeah. I reckon that'll be something that he looks to try and offload early. There's got to be something in NU that I reckon will be better for him.
Yeah, he could have picked up something different. Anywho, we'll move on to the Philadelphia Feraligatrs, which were the runners up, right? From last season in the RBLB league.
Yeah. Went down to Frosty Alpha.
That is coached by Linksko. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Apologies if I'm saying it wrong. I always apologize about that. But anywho, his very first pick was the Mega Lopunny. And I love this pick. This pick is really awesome, especially where he got it. He got it in the 12th or 11th round, I believe.
Yeah, he seemed to be one of the people that got the low end of the stick every time they randomized the draft. But yeah, Mega Lopunny is really solid, especially in this format. It has so many. It's just really, really quick, and it just hits really hard, and it has a decent move coverage.
Yeah, it has like return, high jump kick, ice punch, fire punch. Does it have thunder punch too?
I'm sure it would if it has the other two. I might just check that.
It also has power punch if you want to run a setup that can set up on you. It also has Dizzy Punch if you want to be that person.